Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel and another episode of the Arsenal show. Let's do the intro and then get right to it. Yes, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel and another episode of the Arsenal show. And he's just coming back into shot now.
Sorry,
There
I've
he
got
is.
we've got a cat here that we're feeding, so
Oh, anytime.
we get a plethora of cats coming to visit. It must be the cat whisperers or something like that.
Put,
Sorry
put it,
about that. Apologies, everyone.
put it on.
Hello.
Put it on screen. It will bump up the views. I'll get the
Yeah,
viewers.
it probably will.
Dogs or cats easily bump the views. So yeah, if you want to
True.
bring them on at any time, go for it. But
Sorry,
yeah,
bad,
as you can, no, I love it,
Saturday
mate. I love
morning
it. It's fine.
madness. My apologies, guys.
But yeah, as you can see, I am back with the dream team, the A team, as I like to call them. And I've thanked you both privately and obviously on Twitter and everything as well. But I'll do it here while we're on air. Last week, most viewed stream in my history. So thank you both for coming on and contributing to that. I really am grateful. So, and obviously, great to reunite with you again. So to go from an absolute positive, as always, we'll ground ourselves and go into a negative. Start with the Wolves game first. Now, I know we've all tried to blank this out of our memory as best we can. So I'll just try and get some thoughts from both of you quickly. But yeah, we come into that game against Wolves with the more familiar team for the Premier League after the convincing win in the FA Cup. The only real change was that Bukayo Saka got kept in that midfield role. And Martinelli started on the left-hand side over Trossard. And we went into Molineux looking to go 7 points clear at the top of the league. And for an hour, it looked like it was going to be a routine Arsenal win. But we ended that night with a draw. And we keep breaking records this season. But yeah, that was the first time in the Premier League history that a team top of the league surrendered a 2-goal lead to a team in the relegation zone. But yeah, kick it off, and I'll start with you, Melvyn, because you look like you're the least upset to talk about it at the moment compared to Neil. We get the goal early from Bukayo Saka. We're just 5 minutes in. Great play from Rice, and then Gyökeres did one of the best things that he could do all game, really, and that was that he dragged 2 defenders away to leave Saka space for a free header.
Yeah, lovely goal. We're thinking getting the old cigar out and popcorn. You know what I mean? It was one of those. But you saw as the game went on, it was like we never pushed. We never put there. When you don't hear the goalkeeper you're playing against name, you know things aren't going particularly well. And you never heard his name. We didn't really put him under pressure. And they're a team that, let's face it, haven't got the most confidence. And it just, even when we went just to go forward a bit, even when we went 2-0 up, and it's like, once the commentator, I hate listening to the commentators, I turn it down sometimes, but they said, oh, well, that's it, game over. I'm thinking, no, it's the back of your minds. We've been here before. We've been here before with it. And I thought, well, I don't think Wolves are going to get actually get a draw or anything like that, but I thought they could get a goal and put us under pressure. We'll see it out, but they could put. But what happened after that? What upset me, I mean, obviously, the second goal, even the first goal to a degree, we let that guy cut inside and there wasn't any type of block at all. Terrific shot, don't get me wrong, but with a block, that doesn't go anywhere near the goal. Was certain individuals was having shocking games. Nothing was going right. Not only nothing was going right, their body language was so poor, they didn't want to be there. And yet they never got pulled. I don't care who's on the bench. We did have some decent players on the bench that could have done a job. I mean, I don't know if you recall, James, before the game, I said I wouldn't have played the Subamendi. I thought he's played so much. He's a lovely touch player, and this probably wasn't the game for him. We could have afforded to arrest him on the basis that who was man of the match? It was the Brentford guy. Our guy, what's his name? Norgard. Norgard had such a great match before. Keep the momentum going. He's never let us down. He's got stature about him. He's captain of Brentford. He's got height, stature. He's terrific on the ball, and he could slow things down. 2-0, that was the time to go, you know what? Zubimendi hasn't put a foot right. Let's just do a little switch there. Martinelli, he had a nightmare. He didn't want it. Dish didn't want it. He could have been pulled after 38 seconds. You know what I mean? Once you know with Martinelli, straight away what you're going to get. There's another couple of other players that just weren't doing it. And not as if we didn't have people on the bench. But one thing that did make me, well, not smile. As he did make, I was frustrated. So it was one of those frustrated smiles. Trossard when he came on. If you look at his cameo performance, it's up there with Ebue's performance when he got dragged off a sub. It really is up there. Everything he come off his knee, he's running the wrong way. It's unbelievable. But I suppose things happen, but it happened to us twice. You don't normally see subs do that. But no, it was horrible. And the mistake by our goalkeeper. When you analyse it, because I couldn't watch it again. Obviously, I don't like taking pain too much. But when you analyse it again, he had no reason to come out and collect the ball. There was no, and there was no forward within touching distance of Gabriel. It was just one you do 1,000 times. What was he trying to do? I don't understand what went. Did he have a mental block or something? A brain freeze? Because no goalkeeper in any league would probably do that. And he did it. And it just drove me mad. Absolutely drove me mad. Anyway, that's what I can remember from it. Because as I say, I don't like remembering things that make me give me pain.
Yeah. I mean, I did speak to Dad for a bit, and I said, obviously, we're going to do a podcast this week, and I said I got Wolves and he went, I think they'd rather go to the dentist than do Wolves again, James. But yeah, obviously Melvyn there surmised it quite well, Neil, and nothing much happened else in the first half, really. Like Melvyn said, it was just really narrow but steady lead. We're thinking, this team's on course to be the worst in the history of the Prem. But 10 minutes into the second half, got to mention it, Gabriel put on a pass for Hincapié, who, for me, the last couple of weeks, he's been absolutely fantastic. I think he's been a revelation in that left back position for me. And it was just a really great run and a great finish. And I think now it's only Saliba, isn't it, that's the only outfield of the main lot that hasn't got a goal this season. I think everyone else has got a goal but him. So I guess they're probably going to try and find Saliba any way they can to get him a goal. But yeah, Hincapié getting his first goal here. What did you make of that one?
Oh, I think I might have predicted it. I can't remember. I went for a 2-0 Hincapié, didn't I? I wish it had stayed that way. Never mind. It is what it is. I love him. I think he's. I've probably mentioned before, and it's probably boring to hear, but I remember Arteta saying on his interview that he is truly an amazing player, and you're going to see. I mean, that's why it's cost what he's cost. He's what, 45 million was it or something?
We got to buy him for 45 million.
Got to buy him for 45. That's it.
If we don't, I'll be shocked because he's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. He's so strong and solid. He's more orthodox, isn't he? He's kind. Well, how I would describe him a cross between Tierney and a bit of Calafiore. He's not kind of in between because he can do the bits of an unorthodox left back, but he predominantly seems to just dart down that line, but does it with such, I don't know, poise and confidence. But he's so strong. He's such a strong. You can see physically, he's a very, very strong unit. And to be honest, I'm not surprised he's managed to find the back of the net. I think it was inevitable that he was going to bag one or two this season. But I think everything that he does, he adds that extra kind of reinforcement at the back. Because whilst I love Calafiore, I still think he's probably a little bit crazy, a bit of a maverick, and sometimes we feel a little bit, how can you say it, at unease if the opposition have got an attack. Whereas this guy, because he's got that defensive mindset as well as going forward, I think you've got that kind of reassuredness to bolster the back. Is as good as it already is for us. Probably a little bit ironic that I'm talking about with this game because we've made errors in this game. But you know what I mean? Generally, our defence has been pretty solid this season. And I just feel that he is such an important cog in the wheel for us. I love him to bits. He's just a great. I call him Itachi, and he is definitely my ghetto blaster for this team. So yes,
yeah, no, definitely. And just quickly, Melvyn, you mentioned on it when you did your synopsis, which was great. And I'll come to you first, and then throw it back to Neil just afterwards. Obviously, the Hugo Bueno goal, like you said, it's a fantastic shot into the top corner, past David Raya, but this is now becoming something since obviously the turn of the new year. Arsenal conceding really early after we score ourselves. And then also, and I know a lot of people don't like talking about it, but I think it's a really good metric. I actually, I've always loved stats and that anyway, but we are conceding goals to what is known as low XG and like weldies pretty much. Do you think that this is players fancying themselves because of the space that we're giving? Or do you think that managers have seen what Man United obviously did in that 3-2 game, and other players have tried since, where they're like, look, David Raya is fantastic, but stature-wise and from long range, if you time this right and you hit this perfect, it's going to go over. No matter how agile and, like cat-like reflexes the guy has, he's not tall enough. I watched it and I love David Raya. I always have since he signed. But I did think to myself, that's Donnarumma. If that's, another goalkeeper, they're saving that one because it wouldn't fly over their head. What do you think? Do you think it's they're fancying it, or do you think it's just, again, it's the space? Because like you said, nobody closed them down as much as we've praised Hincapié there. It was his side and just no one went near him.
And also he cut inside, and then Hincapié didn't even go close to him with his right foot, which would have been the one that you should have blocked with. That aside, I think it's a bit of both, actually, James. I think that they do fancy it because he is not, as you say, 6'12", is he? And also, with Arsenal in their mind, they've got a great defence. They've got this great defence, so they're not going to try and dribble through our defence, are they? Naturally, they're going to try and do something different, and that's a great call. Yeah, try long shots with this goalkeeper. I mean, we've been a bit unlucky, and we've let in quite a few of these long shots, haven't we? From outside the box, I don't know what the stats are. We've probably conceded more than any other team. And for a team that to have such a, I mean, we go on to the Tottenham game and the save you made, but he can do wonderful things. But I remember when he first got in the team, do you remember the problem he had? Crosses. Do you remember he used to go over his head and everyone's saying he's not quite tall. He's got round that. I don't know how. His starting position's changed. I don't know. But he's actually managed to, I don't now, when a cross comes in, think, oh my God, he's in the wrong position. Because if you're in the wrong position as a goalkeeper and you're that tall, you can get out of it. There's ways of getting. If you're just got a couple of inches missing, as they say, and you're in the wrong position, you'll struggle. So as I say, he's got rid of that situation. I don't worry about that anymore. But these long shots, they're worrying me. This starting position. I mean, I spoke to Jerome the other day about it, and he goes, well, perhaps his foot movement wasn't as good as it might have been as well. One movement to the right, he would have got it. It's a big word in life, I know. But yeah, it is a problem. And this other thing about letting a goal in just after we score. Thank God after the Wolves game, he didn't do it again.
Yeah. And Neil, what about yourself? Do you think this is something that teams are really looking at and going, I think Arsenal are weak on this?
A couple of points. The first point, which Melvyn just said there in yourself, the lack of concentration, but it is lax, is worrying. It really is annoying me that I still don't think pretty much all this season, bar maybe 5 or 6 games, we've applied that concentration for the full 90 minutes. We come on, we do it in spurts. We sometimes improve second half, and because at one point, didn't we have the most goal ratio straight after the break, right? Well, why aren't we doing that in the first half? Why aren't we doing that at the end of the second half? Why have we let so many points now slip after taking the lead? Where at one point we were breaking records for scoring first. I think we were in the 20s or so. I don't know how many games it was that we'd scored first and we'd won the game. And all of a sudden that's just come, falling down like a house of cards. It's really frustrating for me to sit there as a fan, as it is for all of us, to not see our team apply themselves for the full 90. That is one thing that I'm, despite the Tottenham win, that's still in the back of my mind, because we've still got some crunching matches to negotiate. That's that. As for Raya, look, you've got, the way I look at it, the guy is still an exceptional keeper. You think about those double saves he makes. You think about the reaction save that we're going to be talking about later, right? He is an exceptional keeper. Everyone makes mistakes here and there. And I think, we've got to also remember we're not playing novices. We are playing professional teams. Sometime or another, you're going to get a player that's going to smack a ball in, which probably 8 out of 10 keepers can't save anyway. We talk about goals outside the box. Well, the Liverpool guy that scored that, you've got to stand up as a fan and say, well done. No keeper is saving that. And he did it against Man City as well. Right. As for what you said, Melvyn, about he's negotiating crosses better, that could be down to our set piece coach as well, that he might have improved him there, and his positioning, because he has improved that. I'm not going to get on his back. I think that in that game, so many players were at fault. We were abject against Wolves. We were all collectively useless, abject, and we deserved. You know what? We were lucky to get a point in the end. That's how I'll see it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and you make a great point there, Neil. And I'll just quickly go back to you again, and then Melvyn after. To let a 2-0 lead slip here in just 30 minutes against, what we said was potentially going to be the worst side in the Premier League, even though they got a huge win last night. Them getting that win last night makes this draw seem a bit better in hindsight. But yeah, do you think it's mental fatigue from the players that are out there, Neil, as well as, in a way at times, sometimes I think Arteta, people say he's tactically arrogant. He's got his way with a certain set of players, and he doesn't budge on that. And I agree with what Melvyn said there. You looked at that cup game and you thought, Norgard, fantastic, exemplary performance. You don't really need Zubimendi out here tonight. You can rest it. You got the North London derby, let him go fresh into that one. You had Timber, who looked a complete shadow of himself. And Ben White was available. He weren't available at the weekend, but he was available there at Wolves. Could Ben White have come in there for Wolves? But yeah, what do you think? Do you think it's just the physical and the mental fatigue on these players with everything that's going on, or do you think as well Arteta with this, tactical arrogance per se?
I think it's a bit of both. I'm going to be quite honest. I'm not going to skimp around it. Number one, I think Zubimendi's played probably the most minutes. If not, he's definitely in the top 3.
I think he's the most of outfield players, yeah.
Right, there you go.
Raya's number 1, and then I think Zubimendi's 2.
Right. Well, okay. Well, Raya being a goalkeeper, you can kind of think, okay, that's fine. If you're hearing some noise, I apologise. It's Mum beeping away in the kitchen. We have played the guy the most. I think he, as well as Timber, are tired. Timber is, for me, I've been saying all the season, like you have, James. I think Melvyn probably would agree. Maybe our player of the season. He's been exceptional, but he's played a hell of a lot, and he's not had, what is this, his second full season after the injury? I can't remember. Or is the second?
Yeah, second.
So he's quite new to the Prem as well. Think about it, and he's been really played hard. So there's that, and then that. Who's the only player? Who's the only person in the club that can change that? That's the manager. And I'm sorry, Nogger, for me, is a brilliant player. You guys were talking on the chat, was it yesterday, that potentially he might go in the summer? No. He ain't going nowhere. He is a fantastic player. He's strong, smart, and I think he's visually aware as well. He's a great player, and I don't think he's been used enough, and it makes me angry. The way I was angry that Ethan wasn't getting enough minutes, I'm fuming that Nogger isn't getting enough minutes. He deserves minutes. He's a great player. And he's so professional in his attitude. He's a consummate professional as well. He doesn't moan or groan. He knows that he's not going to get time, but give the man time. because he's actually played very well every time I've seen him play, pretty much. So that's that. And Ben White, there was a time only recently where you wouldn't even think about not playing him. He's not. He doesn't turn rubbish overnight. He could have I think he could have coped quite well. And actually, for me, what I've seen of Ben White this season, when he has come on, has also been good. He's not been rubbish. So yes, I think there's a bit of game management here that should be exercised, player management, and I think it's that and a combination of that and fatigue. Yes.
Yeah. Melvyn, like Neil was going on there as well. Obviously, second half we had less possession than Wolves did. We only had one shot on target, which was the Hincapié goal, and Wolves had more accurate and more penetrating passes than us. And it's just like, how has this happened?
Well, I might put it up a bit out there. What I want to say, yes, it might be that some were definitely tired and have been tired. They've been overplayed, and it's the manager's job to see it, to realise it, and to do things and to change things. But do they get in their mind that everyone's telling them what a great defence they got, and 2-0 up, they become, this is a horrible word to use, lazy? I didn't see the energy. Yeah, the energy might be, like I said, they're tired, or it may be because they did show a bit of energy the weekend. So where's that come from? So is it because they believe the press? Because let's face it, the critics, we're the greatest team in the world one day, we're the worst team in the world the next. We're neither. Right? We're not the best in the world, and we're not the worst in the world. So it's a bit of that, and it's just they're not purposely being lazy. They're just thinking, well, look who's behind me. We're fine. 2-0, it's Wolves. If you take, like you said, we're playing very good teams, the highest standard. You take your foot off the pedal slightly, and you'll pay the price probably. I think that's what, in my opinion, what it might have been.
Yeah. And just before we wrap up as well, and again, you made a great point earlier, Melvyn. For me, Martinelli, absolutely horrendous. Saka faded after 20 minutes. Timber, like we said, a shadow of himself. And Neil, I'll throw this one just before we do the man of the match. You get onto the better game, but Calafiori, he comes on here on the 92nd minute, and then the equaliser goes off him in the 94th. Is Calafiori just unlucky for you, or is his lack of match sharpness due to these injuries affecting him and affecting the team? Because when I've watched it back, I look at it and go, it's very quick. It's pouring with rain, it's slipping about and everything. But I did think he could have done better in a way for that second. But I don't know if that's me being overly harsh or not.
No, I don't think it's about being overly harsh. These guys are professionals and they're paid a lot of money. It doesn't matter if you were off sick for a period of time from your job, you go in, and there may be some mitigating circumstances, but generally you're expected just to perform your job, aren't you? No matter what it is. People can't say, "Oh, he's been off for a little while," and actually it was a horrible commuting to work because it was really pouring with rain, it was really windy, and they're not settled in. But you're still expected to perform for your job, especially if it might lead a decision that you make might lead to a loss of a client or something. It's not good enough, is it? So whilst I expect every player to perform, be switched on. Like I said earlier, you have to be switched on from second one to the final second, whether that be the 93rd minute, 96th minute, or in Man United's injury time traditional case, the 213th minute. You've got to play for every second that you're on that pitch. That doesn't mean whether you're coming on as a substitute or right from the start. It doesn't make any difference. You have to be switched on. Having said that, I wouldn't. It's not his fault. For me, that is Raya. That second goal was all down to Raya. I don't think you can then start saying, well, Calafiori should have done this and Gabriel was wrong to do that. Raya should not have come darting forward. He panicked. For me, Raya panicked. And only Raya, I think, is the only person in the world that can fix that of his mindset. And he will. He'll get back to his sharpness again.
Yeah. Well, just quickly before we finish that one off, as always, we do the Man of the Match awards here. And I gave that one for this game. I gave it to Hincapié. I thought he was easily the best of a bad bunch. He was the only one for me who kept his intent and focus pretty much for the majority of the game, apart from their first goal. But he made 5 clearances. He made 2 recoveries. He got 3 interceptions on the day. And he only lost 2 duels out of 8 all game. as well as having 93% on his passing and getting a goal as well. But any argument from anybody else for anyone?
No way.
Wolves?
No way. Perfect.
No.
Yeah, lovely. Just quick.
But it
before we
shows you
move on.
how bad the level was. Sorry, James.
Yeah.
It shows you how bad
No,
the
go for
level
it.
was for man of the match. That he's won it, and yet you could say he was at kind of fault for one of the goals.
Yeah.
That's how low
Yeah.
the rest of them played.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. And just quickly, we got some comments in the chat here. So yeah, just from Hente, he said, just what I needed for the illness. Oh, sorry, you're unwell, Hente. Hope you get well soon. And he's up from bed, so good morning. Good morning to you, Hente. Good to see you. And then we got Arsenal above all, Mike, as well in the chat. Hey, there he is. Morning, gents. Great to see you all. Great to see you as well, Mike. And then Neil, I've seen that you said hello all in the chat as well. But I said hello to you when we did the intro, so I don't want to do it again. But yeah, lads, next one. Obviously, big game. Rolling into enemy territory, as per se. And we come in with this one. Eze got the 8-10 roll over Saka. Saka got put back on the right-hand side. Trossard got put back on the left. And we had a bit of pressure after the 2-2 draw. And then Man City the day before beat the Geordies. So the gap was back down to 2 points. And this win and the performance obviously restored our 5-point lead at the top. Before a ball was kicked, I've got to go into it because I do. When it's a certain man, I do love kicking them when they're down. I don't for normally others, but for this lot, I think it's justified. They had a shameless, what can only be described as a tablecloth. I think they said it was a tifo, but it looked more like a tablecloth to me. And then the stadium announcer, I don't know if any of you guys have seen this. He went from Michael Buffer to Michael Buffering to me. I didn't know what he was doing. He looked like he was, completely mental. I've never seen that. I've never had like a motivational.
I thought it was AI.
Yeah, I've never seen a motivational speech from the stadium announcer before a game. I mean, awful motivational speech anyway. But yeah, I thought, they have a lot of boxing and concert. I thought, have I put the WWE on? I know I watch both, but I thought, have I got the wrestling on? What's going on here? And then, yeah, just before we go into it, they've got the new manager. They've had 12 days off, and we turned 2-door into a 4-door. So, started the game. Good sustained bit of pressure. Gyökeres, lovely early chance that he curled wide. But I'll go to you first, Melvyn. These delays with the best league in the world, but we can't afford batteries, Melvyn.
Well, like somebody said, in such a big game like this, with the world watching, it's embarrassing, number one. But they don't care because we have refs every week that are embarrassing, so they don't change that. But what they could have done is, you know what? Why don't we just play for quarter now till it's fixed without that? You can shout to him if you want to speak to him. Remember how refs used to talk to linesmen before there's no wall up there, is there? They can actually go up to him they could use a flag. They could actually use why didn't I think of that before? Use a flag. What's he got the flag for, the linesman? It's for one of it's for communication. Perhaps we don't need anyway. That's what they could have done, but that would have been too much to work out.
The flags have the buttons on. The flags have buttons on. So if there is something, as well as putting the flag, they can press the button at the bottom, and it will like vibrate to the ref that he's seen something there, and then like you said, just go over and talk to him. Like stop the game and walk over.
But going back to that guy giving the old pep talk before the game, it's a great saying. I love it. Now Spurs are a rich club, right? Big rich club, not big, sorry, rich club, and it's a great saying. You can't buy class with all the money they got. If you said to me, there's going to be a game where some guy's going to stand up and think he's playing American football or whatever it is, some boxing game and all that, I said it's got to be Spurs, isn't it? Because I remember the League Cup semi-final in the late 80s when they were telling all the Spurs supporters how to buy their tickets for the final at half-time. That was amazing. They were beating us. At that time we were out, but we had another half to play. And they went, nah. Now how you get your tickets? And they're all cheering. You just don't do it. You tempt fate, but they keep doing it. It's in their DNA. That's why they can't win anything. It's win the league or anything close to it. That's why they fail so many times. It's in the DNA, and you can't change that.
Yeah, very true.
We are going back to the right. Sorry, did you ask me about the game? I was just got into that thing. Right.
Yeah. So
the stoppage thing. The stoppage thing is poor.
Yeah, and
Very poor.
we broke the deadlock through Eze. It was a great run by Saka who crossed it, and high control and athletic swinging volley from Eze, which he's done previously this season against Crystal Palace. And Neil, with this, he becomes the 5th player to score home and away versus Tottenham in his debut season for Arsenal. He's alongside Jackie Chalmers, Super Mac, Champagne Charlie, and Righty. So esteemed company. But yeah, what did you make of this first one?
Oh, elation. But I think a lot of credit has to go to Timber and Saka as well throughout the game. Whilst we were talking about Timber's fatigue, he showed none of that against that lot. Incredible dynamism between, I think, Saka and Timber, which has been lacking of late. Saka was pretty much back to what we expect of him. And I think a lot of what we created in an attacking sense, it was down to those two. So the combination of them, getting the ball into the box, etc., and causing the defenders issues they have to get credit for that. But I think I might have said it on the Purely pod. He looks so uncomfortable with the way he does that. It just looks so uncomfortable. I mean, I can imagine pulling every muscle in my body trying to do that action. I know I'm overweight and old now, but I think even 30 years ago, I would have still pulled a lot of muscle. So he's got a habit of doing that. And of course, he does it later on and winning the ball back for the 3rd goal, I think it was. So, it's definitely in his makeup. But yeah, great. It's just so nice to see after some pretty, I would say, below average performances to come back. And ironically, that's his first shot on target since the goals at the previous NLD.
Really?
Place.
Wow.
Yeah, first shot on target. And I think that's not just down to him. 8 starts, but only 360 minutes played since the North London derby. So at the end of the day, he's effectively only played 3 out of 8 games in total, if you look at it in minutes. And I think that's a little unfair for someone who I think arguably is a very talented footballer. I talked about Nogget not getting enough time, Ethan not getting enough time. Well, I think the same can be applied to Eze as well, especially when Odegaard hasn't been firing on all cylinders. I think there is space and room for Eze to be in the team more regularly. Hopefully this has shown the manager that, hey, you really need to stretch the squad because we need it. We've only had this one first week off for a long time, 7 days or whatever it is. It's going to be back to serious, game congestion again. We're in all 4 competitions. Don't forget. Please utilise your squad to the full. Play all the players on form to their strengths. Don't mess around anymore. But I just thought that was great athleticism from him. And bang, it's just a good finish. And so happy for him. 4 goals out of, against those lot. Brilliant start to the game.
Yeah. And Melvyn, if you want to wax lyrical about the first, go ahead. But then also just to, and I feel bad making you have to do the bad bit, Melvyn. I'm sorry. But right after it, it's an instant response from them lot. Declan Rice pretty much gets pickpocketed by Kolo Muani, and he drove the ball into the net. And what did you make of this here? Because I got absolute pelters for saying that I was angry at him when he was laughing. And I get that he was probably laughing at himself because he's going, oh, I'm the one who's going, use your head, and he's just it's like the ironic of, oh, bloody hell, I'm a meme now. Like this is gonna get clipped up. I'm gonna get absolutely roasted for this. And he was exemplary after it, although he did make the error for the one that Raya saved in the second half. But what did you make here? Because for me, and again, Declan Rice has been the player of the season, in my opinion. I think he's been our best player this season. But
2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, Yeah, but for me, sometimes I think he's too honest to a fault. I think he reveals a bit too much of everything that's going on. You know, when he does interviews, he's like, oh, we had another meeting about how this isn't bad. This, we got the. I'm like, we don't need to know all this. Keep that in house. But also as well, I'm like, trying to dribble out your own box. I don't. You can be Zidane, Messi, any of the great players that we've seen over there. None of you can dribble out your box against 2 or 3 like unrushing people. You can't do it.
I think that when I watched it, I thought, out of all the players in the world to do something like that, it wouldn't be someone like him. He's the last line of defence sometimes. He makes sure he clears that ball, he gets that tackle in, he does the right thing. And he had 3 options. When that ball came to him, and he had time to think as well. Not that we would have had time to think, we wouldn't have known what we're doing. But he could have let it go through to the goalie. He could have turned back to the goalie. I think Zubimendi was on straight away. And I think Timber was on half a second after that. And he chose not to choose any of those. He chose to dribble. And that's what a forward would do in that circumstance. Dribble outside the box. You wouldn't get normally you wouldn't, well, he's not a defender, you wouldn't get a defender doing that, or a defensive midfield, or any player doing that. Even some of the forwards wouldn't do that. But if you're going to do it, it'll probably be a forward doing it. Go, just get up the other end, mate. You don't know what you're doing back here. And it was a bit of that. Also, I had a big argument with my friend at half time because he was shouting and screaming. I was shouting. I mean, I got very annoyed at Rice. I shouldn't have done, I suppose, but it's a North London derby. We've just scored. We go, now, right, let's crack on. And we do that, like hand it on a plate, a golden plate with all the flowers on it. Here's the goal. The guy had a little bit to do. And he said to me, he blames someone else as well. I went, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah. You know, it is in football. And then after the game, I watched it. I think I watched Match of the Day, and I watched the goal again because, funnily enough, I remembered that we won. And so I could watch it. And because if we hadn't won, I couldn't watch it ever again. So, Saliba, he was lethargic, A. B, and I used to play in defence. What does he do tackling? And you probably, when you played football, the guy cutting in from the left, a right-footed guy, and you're inside him, why would you tackle with your right foot? It's got to be a weak tackle with your right foot. Your left foot gets all your body behind it. Why did he not? And he didn't seem to put him off. He had a little flick at him. And I've missed him. The guy was 3 yards, or what is it, 5 to 8 yards from goal. You don't do that. You've got to be more deadly. Give everything. Everything should light up in his head to go, just got to stop this guy. I don't care what I do. I don't ever give a penalty away, obviously. He wasn't even that close to give a penalty away. Just do something to stop him, block him, put your arm out, do this. It was nothing. It was just, he got round me. And the shot actually was very good as well, and that was close, but it was right under the box. The keeper's got no chance. So when I came to my senses, I looked at it and went, yeah, my mate was right. Saliba's got a touch. I know one doesn't happen if the first one doesn't happen, but once the first one's happened, it's happening in real time. You've got to do something about it, and he never. And I don't like criticising Saliba. He's an amazing player, but I think it seemed like he does make a couple more mistakes this season than he's ever done before. The one in Real Madrid he did, that was a poor one, but thank God we won that game, so everyone forgot about it. Yeah. And there's other times where he's given fouls away for no reason. And I love him, don't get me wrong, he's amazing. But my big bear bug with him last season was it Bournemouth away when he got sent off?
Yeah.
From the halfway line.
Yeah.
Now, he lost the ball on the halfway line, and the first thing he does is pull the geezer back. I don't particularly think some referees, well, the referee didn't give it a red card because he went to VAR, but you're taking the chance. But my thing with him, he's the fastest defender in the league, probably over 50 yards. The guy never had the ball under control anyway. Over 50 yards. Are you telling me he wouldn't have got back after made up that distance? He wasn't even that far behind him. He's can't be that far behind. He pulled his shirt. So you telling me after 2-3 yards, he can't make up 2 or 3 yards or give him a little? That was for me saying, hold on a minute. you've got the first thing you've got to do is that you're fabulous on the ball. You're a great defender, but a great defender would not have taken that decision. But as I say, luckily we got him. But we've got to talk about someone else if you're talking about Saliba later on about the Spurs game. I'm sure we will.
I think I know who you're going to mention. But yeah, Neil, yourself with obviously Declan Rice there in this moment. What did you make of it?
I think if it was any other player, and I'm going off the grain here now for my own thoughts about football in general, especially our team, of course, because that's the only team that matters to me. Any other player smiling like that, I would have been crucifying him, absolutely and utterly, because I'm an old git. For me, a true captain and leader is the players like of the Adams era. Tony Adams, for me, I still feel that's why I always say he's my favourite player of all time. I just loved his leadership. I don't think you'd have caught him smiling if he'd made that mistake. Now, I think with Declan Rice, if you just put it into context, I think it's irony. It's more irony. He's like, I've just been telling everyone to focus and I've gone and messed up myself. So I can forgive him for that. And also, to be fair, he has been absolutely, what a servant for the club he's been. So I don't want to get on his back at all, to be fair. I mean, the error itself is unforgivable, because I think if the season had been different for us and we've just been annihilating teams and not making, these or having these games where we take the lead and then we lose the goal straight away. If that hadn't been happening, and this is a one-off, you'd kind of think, okay. But we've just come off losing 2 points against the bottom club, have a lot of pressure with Man City, and then we do it again. We score a goal after playing great, to be fair. We played great, even, up to the goal as well. It's not as if we were playing poor. It was for me, an amazing turnaround, considering we've got all that pressure on us. Man City closing the gap, dropping the 2 points at Wolves, and having to go away to, I won't call them rivals anymore. I think they're just some Mickey Mouse team. But still, a North
I call them noisy neighbours, Neil.
Noisy neighbours. Okay. But still, it is the North London derby. It is the London derby. It's always going to be. It's the 199th one. So form books go out the window a little bit. And I just feel, given all of that, I actually feel that I love the attitude of all the players. The mental capacity, the mental awareness and the mental strength that they showed coming out, from all of that, with all the pressure heaped on them, has been pretty amazing, because I think we played really well. Apart from a couple of mistakes here and there, I thought we played really well. So on this occasion, maybe a one-off, I'd forgive him for smiling. But any other player, I would have come down really hard.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And yeah, go on, Melvyn, go for it.
I didn't mention him smiling. I read it differently, Neil. Perhaps I'm wrong. Well, probably I'm wrong. I thought he'd turn around to have a go at the defence, letting him dribble in, forgetting what mistake he'd made. And he went like, oh, yeah, it was my mistake to begin with, like hands up. That's how I read it. I'm probably that I didn't think he was smiling like you happy go lucky. I thought he was, when like we all do, like you're a midfielder. The defence is, what you doing?
It could be Melvyn, but I just saw it that it was an ironic smile on his behalf, because he only a few seconds before he was going focus to everyone else. He was quite angry with it as well. Yeah. He was telling all the players, focus. We've gone 1-0 up, but don't take your foot off the gas. Was there not another game? I don't know whether it was last season, where did he score and then he was like, no, we're straight up the pitch. I don't want to celebrate. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I put it like that. For me, that was very similar. And then he goes and makes the mistake, and I think that was more irony for that smile. But you could be right, Melvyn. It could be that.
Yeah, you made a really good point with Jack, and I didn't notice it, but I watched it again when you said it, and I was like, I'm going to check that out, because Eze sort of looks at him as if to be like, I've scored, like where he's calming it all down. Eze's like, no, let's give it into it. And you could see Eze for a second there was just like,
he wasn't happy.
You're sort of raining on my parade here, man.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I think that's where actually I'm in favour of Eze here, because he has been struggling. Let him have his little bit of moment of glory, and that is why he break danced in the second one. He said, "You're not going to take it away this time, because I'm on the floor doing my moves. So forget you, Rice. I'm doing it."
Yeah, yeah. And we go into the second half, more delays, which again, couldn't believe it. And you'd think, oh, everything's wasting time and they threw a flare on the pitch at one point because they were losing and thought
What
that
was
would
all that
derail us and
about?
everything. Because they're just muggy, Melvyn. They're just muggy. But yeah, you're thinking all these delays, what are Arsenal going to do? And Arsenal go, well, we'll tell you what we'll do within 5 minutes of those delays. Yuri and Timber, like you said, Neil, I thought he was, I thought he was brilliant in this game. And he looked at that left-hand side of theirs and thought, well, Jed Spence doesn't help. And Simmons don't help him either. So, they're brilliant. We'll have a bit of that all day. And he fizzes in a pass. Eze here as well. Brilliant decoy run from him. He completely mugs off Van de Ven to let Gyökeres hit this goal in. 20-yard hammer. I don't care how bad the goalkeeper is. That's all I've heard from him all week is, oh, yeah, but the goalkeeper's... I went, your goalkeeper's terrible. Your goalkeeper is the worst Italian goalkeeper since Taibbi. I don't want to hear about how bad your goalkeeper is. We all know how bad your captain that you think's one of the best centre-backs in the league. If the aliens come down and said, take me to your leader, you'd show him someone else because he's embarrassed. You wouldn't show him to Romero. He's embarrassing. You wouldn't show an alien him. He's a joke. But yeah, I was over the. I mean, I went mental when this went in because I love Gyökeres anyway. I absolutely love him, don't I? And but yeah, great goal, Melvyn. What did you make of this one?
Well, first of all, it's very nice to fizz passes into the box or out just outside the box. We don't normally do that. We normally nice little floaters, easy for defense. That was, as you say, the run from Eze was superb. He took him outside the ground, didn't he? Found himself outside the ground, the Spurs centre half. Go, where am I? Oh, better get back inside the ground now. Fantastic. And the shot is so hard. I mean, I don't know if many goalkeepers would have saved that. I really don't. When you see it from behind the goal, you see the velocity of it. You think the strength. You think, wow. It's got to hit the goalkeeper in the middle of the head, isn't it, to come out? Really, will a hand be strong enough? So if he's got that in his locker, I hope he uses it more because it could be devastating. That type of thing. It's brilliant, and also it was so clinical. The passing and the shot. There's no big build up. There's no defensive error. There's no waiting for this to happen. It's just bang, bang. To score a goal in 1.5 seconds, like it's so much. It gave me a lot of satisfaction to score anyway. But it just, that's good. We didn't, not saying we didn't have to work for the goal, but you know what I mean? It wasn't some big technical thing. Just give it in, push it in, shoot, goal. That's it. What can you do about it? So, and happy for him. Listen, I've been very disappointed what I've seen of him. Let's be honest, I have. Right, I've sat there sometimes with Craig and go, "Oh my God, what was he trying to do? Does he know where his legs? Does he know where his legs are, his feet are?" But I really do like him. I know it sounds strange. I do want him to do well, not just as an Arsenal player. I think he really, he's not trying to do well. It's just not happening. And again, this could be another turning point for him. I know he's quietly scoring goals, and no one's really talking about it a lot. But the thing is, I think he's getting better and better. And at the end of this season, I think he could be very, very, very important for us.
Yeah, Neil, if you want to wax lyrical about this goal, now's the time.
Firstly, just on a couple of points that Melvyn made, completely agree. I think number one, he's a confidence player. Number two, I think I've been the one who's kind of been more sympathetic to him, especially speaking to Jack on the pods and even in the chat. I think I'm still going to go with, for me, he hasn't had enough service. Yes, there's times where you think when he does get the ball, he should do better. I'm not gonna sit there and say to you guys, well, it's not all. It's none of it's not his fault. Yes, of course, some of it is he's to blame too, because he has had opportunities where he should have done better. But I think equally so, the service has not been there. I think now more players are starting to trust him. Before it was only really Eze and Trossard. Now I think more players are starting to trust him. Odegaard maybe a little bit because obviously the fourth goal, and I think was it the goal against Villa? I can't remember. So you got that, but Timber, we don't see this. Melvyn, you smashed it there. For so long we've been looking at. As I say, I'm not scientifically gifted with football at all, but I just watch as a layman, and I watch this. Why do we labour to get that ball to the front of the pitch and then labour with 20,000 touches to put the ball in the net, where then all of a sudden the opposition just goes straight down the pitch and have an attempt or even score? We sit there, dilly-dallying, pass here, pass there, pass there, pass there, pass there. Oh, it just gets so boring and frustrating at times. Have a shot on goal. You get so annoyed. And this was the epitome of that. As Melvyn said brilliantly there, 2 seconds, 1.5, 2 seconds, bang, bang. We need to do that more often. Now, if they're going to trust Gyökeres to do that, we've got more of that coming. I think at the beginning of the season, I reckon he'll score 15 to 20. I'm still sticking with that. And I think now more than ever, we need those extra 10 goals from him if we're to win this league. Timber absolutely tore that defence in half. That pass was perfect, pinpoint. As much as he was fatigued in the game before, he was brilliant in this one. And what a strike. No, Melvyn, you know what? That reminded me of Podolski's left foot. Because Podolski had such power in his strike. I actually thought it was him for a second. They kind of look a little bit alike from afar. And, I just thought, mate, I want to see more of that for the rest of the season. And I love the guy, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, spot on. Then, not long after this, it's the controversial moment of the game. If you listen to certain other fans and fans of a certain club, Kolo Muani gets his second goal, and it's ruled out due to a push on Gabriel. I think we got a bit lucky here, if I'm being honest. Now, I know by the letter of the law, it's 2 hands on the back and a push. However, Gabriel, he did embellish, in my opinion. It was very, Tom Daly would have been proud, I think, of the splash and the dive that he made there. But what I will say is, I've watched these fixtures. Neil, you said there was 199 of them. I haven't watched that many, but I've watched a lot in 30 odd years of my life. And when I saw Heung-min Son and Harry Kane do these sorts of things, they were called clever. So I'm going to go Gabriel was clever here. What's your take on that, Neil?
Oh, 100%. How many times have we been on the wrong end of decisions? And actually, the irony is this wasn't the wrong decision. It was actually the right decision. So no one should be really talking about it. Yeah. All right. Gabriel's gone down a bit lightly. Brilliant. Well done, mate. That's all I'll say on the matter. Brilliant. Loved it.
Yeah. And Melvyn, I mean, the thing for me, which shocked me the most, and I think again, you mentioned this on Purely Neil, was old Lord Barrington, Sir Neville of Nevilleshire, went, that's a foul straight away. He didn't even have to watch it twice. Just straight away, first time he went, that is a foul. That goal's got.
I was shocked off. How quickly
I couldn't believe it. The Prime Minister of football, and I couldn't believe it. I went, well, bloody hell, Lord Gary of Nevilleshire has said it's a foul. I was in awe. I was more shocked at that at some of the goals.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, Melvyn, if you want to.
I feel like Melvyn's composing himself because he wants to say something, but he doesn't want to go too far.
Right. Where do I start? Right. First of all, it's irrelevant. Look, after the game, we can talk about it. Oh, tit for tat. They've got some stupid penalties against the Spurs. There's someone, I think, where Cedric gave nothing away. It wasn't a penalty, but no. Anyway, right. I've got news for you. When a referee puts a whistle in his mouth, he's not thinking about Spurs Arsenal games of 10, 20 and 15 years ago, right? He's playing it there. So we can use that as an excuse, but in real time, it's got nothing to do with the decision the referee makes, number one. Number two, I think foul or no foul, deal or no deal, I think that Gabriel was poor doing that. He's taken a chance where he had no reason to do that, right? I don't know if he would have got the ball with his head anyway. I'm not sure. But he should have backed in a bit to make it look even better. Once you dive like that, you put the doubt in someone's mind. If I was on VAR, I honestly wouldn't have known which way to give it. I'll be honest, unless I'm an Arsenal supporter, of course. But I would not have known 100%. I don't know. So you probably stayed with the referee's decision. But he's taken a risk. Again, like Rice, a risk that he didn't have to take. So I'm not letting off Gabriel at all. I thought he's very unprofessional for a guy that is the top defender that he is. That was poor. So I don't agree with you two. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, I mean, for me, I looked at it and was just like, look, you got away with one at Brentford because that was definitely a second yellow. You should have been sent off there. You've had this one here, and I'm like, I don't think you're going to get a third chance, mate. I don't think the refs are going, because the refs are going to come out and go, both of them were probably incorrect. Because you know what they're like. They'll get their little panel and everything, and they'll sit in front of the tellies and they'll go, oh, he's got a red shirt with a cannon on it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, we got that wrong. Sorry, and and again, if apologies were points, I think we'd been on course with Man City for 4 titles in a row. I think so. We'd have won about 6 or 7 of them by now. But back to the good stuff. Arsenal score the third again. It's deflected off a Saka shot, but it fell perfectly to him, and he tapped it into the net, and that's his 5th goal against Spurs in one season. And he becomes the first player in 90 years since Ted Drake to do that. He's only 1 open play goal in North London derbies behind Harry Kane. He's 3rd behind Emmanuel. All my old clubs love me. No, they don't. Emmanuel Adebayor. And he's behind Robert Pires as our top goal scorer in North London derbies. And he's only played 2 of them. He's only ever played 2 of them. And also, I see Mike in the chat, so he'll get the reference. And Neil, you made a little reference to it earlier. He hit a spinneroonie, which is the celebration / taunt of professional wrestler Booker T. And Booker T's big thing was that he was the 5-time world champion. So I don't know if he thought, oh, I've scored 5 goals, I'll hit a spinneroonie. I think he just done it because he was on the floor and thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a little dance. But yeah, what did you guys make of this one, Neil? I mean, Saka, for me, like you said earlier, had a really good game, and he should have had a couple of goals himself. The one that Raya, I thought that was...
Could have had 4, mate.
Yeah.
Could have had 4.
Yeah. I mean, we all said that Raya's going to get an assist eventually, one of these game weeks, and he did, didn't he? Completely. I don't think Saka realised that he was.
I think he was that good. It was too.
Eventually, he was like, "Oh Christ, what a ball!" And then he was like,
I actually think that was it. I think it was. Yeah. I'm not going to blame Saka for that. I think I think he did like all of us at home. It was just like, whoa. Yeah, taken by surprise. That would have been one of the best distributions I've ever seen by a goalkeeper if he had converted it. It really would have. It's not. I mean, I do it as well. I sometimes take the mick out of teams hoofing the ball, but that wasn't a hoof the ball. That was, oh my God, I've seen an opportunity here. Oh mate, but yeah, let's talk about the third goal. It is what it is. Hopefully, one day Rail will get it. I'm sure he will. It's too good a distributor for me. Yeah, look, as well as Saka does, and as well as Eze does, who's there again? Gyökeres. What a deft touch. What a deft touch. I think that's going to go kind of under the radar. But if you replay that goal from that angle, from the front on angle, you'll see what he does. It's very clever. So I love the way those 2 players have helped each other throughout the game, including their goals. They've both been there for each other. And I love that so much. They could be the key. As much as I love Kai Havertz, and I do, and I seriously miss him, whilst he's not playing, I think these 2 could form quite the partnership. So we've got 2 partnerships potentially. We've got the relationship between Timber and Saka, and then we could have Gyökeres and Eze. And I think that will be so instrumental going forward. But yeah, another great finish, 3-1, and this is what we've been missing this season: killing games off. That is the most important takeaway from this. That, we had the fright with Gabriel, and can you imagine if that was given? We'd been back to square one again. So important in the context of what's been happening to us to get that cushion, and we delivered. And I'm so pleased for Eze. And I love this celebration. For me, as I said, I think it was like, Rice, you're not going to steal my thunder a second time, mate. I'm celebrating this 5 goals against them lot in one season. You're not taking that celebration. I know, Rice, we've got to get back there, but not for a minute. Let me have my moment.
Yeah. What about yourself, Melvyn, on the second one from Eze?
No, just what Neil said. Have to agree. That little touch around the corner by Gyökeres was superb. But also, Eze did well in collecting the ball. He was the first one to react to that poor header from the guy with the lovely ponytail. So, you know, all round it was. So the only thing that worries me, just going off track a bit, is that he's played so well, Eze. Is Arteta going to play in the next game? I worry that he may not play him. I really do. It worries me that because he might put Odegaard in because he's back to fitness. That we've seen it before.
Yeah.
So no, great goal, fantastic. As I say, Saka had one of those things where he just about couldn't, great tackle by the Spurs player as well. Actually, got to give due there.
Yeah.
But Eze was around first again to react and done the nice little spin. Disco takes me back to my disco days, flares and all that. But no, very, very good. Once that went in, it's a 2-goal cushion. You're thinking, and breathe. But as Arsenal, we don't, do we?
I mean, that was what Eze was thinking. I think Eze was like, "Look, Melvin's watching at home. I'm gonna throw a Melvin tribute in there. Everyone's gonna think it's Booker T from wrestling."
Melvin is this actor now. He's famous. I want his autograph next time I see you, by the way. But you know what? There's one thing you still need to do on stage is break down your moves and your flares. I need to see that. I would pay good money to see that, Melvin.
But yeah, just quickly as well, Tottenham then obviously nearly get their consolation goal on the 84th minute, but it's a fantastic save from David Raya. It went to go through your legs and then do that. And just quickly going to do my new segment on the show, which is what did David think of that? And I've got David here, and he's given it a big 10. Look, he's put 2 5s up, so that's a 10. That's a 10 from David. He thought that was a 10 save. And it just goes to his collection for the season. I mean, he's got loads of them now. I think nearly every week he gets a bloody brilliant save somewhere, apart from the Wolves game. But yeah, we seal the victory through Victor Gyökeres again. What a finish! 14 on the back of the shirt, cutting in on the left-hand side. We all know what that reminds you of, and it just further compounds Tottenham's misery for the day. But like you said there, Neil. With the celebrations as well. This one really made me laugh. Odegaard is over the moon that he's assisted him. That's the first thing. I was like, he's loving that he's finally done something for him. But when he jumps on his back, he's doing that over, and Gyökeres is like, no, I can't see. he's like, you're doing it. He's like, you're doing it over. It's meant to be over my mouth, not my eyes. It was hilarious. I mean, they're all doing. Madwecky's doing it. All the players are doing it. Yeah,
it's just wonderful. And do you know what? I love the build up to that because 3 players were involved. So Martinelli did well to win the ball back. So that kind of atones for his really poor performance against Wolves. So I thought that was good. And then even Madueke gets involved. I just love the fact that all the forwards were involved. It was brilliant. And then obviously Odegaard with the assist. But my goodness me, this guy, strength and power, and he does it. We've seen him do it. That is one thing you can't fault him on. Yes, we've expected more from him potentially or possibly, but he has been shown us that he's got strength and his ability to hold off a defender. Just keep him there. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you can be side to side with me. You ain't getting the ball off me. And that power and strength that he showed there, and then the finish, that was, Henry would have been proud of that. Henry, and that's the great man himself. So pleased for Gyökeres. So happy. I honestly, 2 goals each to 2 players that needed it so much. It's come exactly at the right time for us. And Melvyn, you're right. He better play Eze. I'm sorry, what I said earlier, you play your on-form players. For me, after Eze's performance, he's the form player. I don't care if Odegaard's fit. Odegaard can come on 20 minutes to go when we're winning 6-0. Then you can come on, Odegaard.
Yeah, and go for it, Melvyn.
I was just saying that for that goal, you talk about Odegaard. That's what I want to see him do more. We don't see enough of it. We see him do all the nice stuff around the halfway line and 10 yards in and playing around the right side, playing Saka around, playing around Saka and all that. Absolutely marvellous. But that last finish ball into a forward, that is what he's there for. And he, as I say, I don't know how many assists he's got this year. It can't be that many. And Gyökeres, did he actually realise he had a defender next to him when he shot? Because he was like, it wasn't even. I'm like, all right, I'll talk to you later. It's one of those, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a mismatch, wasn't it? In all fairness, I mean that might have been pulled back, but the ref might have said, "No, I can't give that. It was a mismatch. We've got to have another defender on you next time." No, And what I liked about it, we dispossessed that flash Spurs right back who plays left back sometimes. He was giving it a bit with Rice. There was a little bit going on there with the touchline, and Rice stood up to him. I don't know if you saw that. There's a bit of Rice was on the floor and he was still trying to tackle him. And he lost it. He lost it, and we scored because he lost it. And Madueke did well. I like what he did. I love these quick passes. That's what we got to do. Sharp passes. Exactly right. We don't do enough of it. But I thought we might talk about him. But my new becoming favourite, Mosquera.
Yeah, I was just getting there, Melvyn. I was literally just about to get there.
Oh my God! What is he?
No, go for it.
I'm just saying, when he came on, you knew what you're going to get. I think he's like a spider, isn't he? He's got his arms, his feet. He doesn't let anyone breathe. He encloses attacker, and he did that on the right when he won the ball for Saka. He did brilliantly to set up. That was fantastic. I just like everything about him, and I cannot believe that's his first season. You say people got to take to the Premiership. That's his first season. I mean, come on, he wasn't bought for this. He was bought to put in storage for a couple of years, wasn't he? He's come straight out of storage and said, "No, we need you, mate. We've run out of supplies," and he's just gone straight in. We could play him at right back every game. I wouldn't mind. He's got the football ability to do that.
Definitely. So, man of the match for this game. You all know who I'm going to pick. I'm biased. I've gone for Victor Gyökeres. You could have easily given it to Eze as well. But I thought this was Victor's best game that he's probably played for us all season. I thought he was fantastic. Strength, hold up, scoring goals. Got to give the flowers to Eze as well. Give them to Raya, and then Mosquera for that cameo. It was just absolutely superb. He was so solid. I think he didn't even lose a single duel. He wasn't dribbled past when he come on, and that's just superb. But just quickly, Neil, and I'll give you the last question before we wrap up here. Obviously, beating a rival like that is always good for your confidence and everything else. But to me, it really reinforced the strength of this squad that we've got now. Madueke come in against Leeds. He bagged an assist and a goal when Saka was bad. Eze come in here, tore Spurs a new one when Odegaard isn't fully fit. Do you think this is the first time since that Invincible squad that our second string and the squad as a whole is up to par with the conventional side? Because the Invincibles, obviously everyone goes, oh yeah, Lehmann, Lauren, Campbell, Toure, Cole, Vieira, Gilberto, Pires, Lundberg, Henri, Bergkamp. But I think that in the league that year, they only played, I think it was 4 as that whole 11. So it was chopping and changing that whole time. But yet the level didn't drop. Even though the players might not have been, Luzhny was still there. Clichy was a kid playing in it. You had people like Edu, who was solid. I don't think Edu gets as much credit as he deserves.
Exactly.
People, Wiltord, Kanu, and that was still there when we needed them.
Exactly.
But do you think this lot that we have now? Now, I'm not saying they're better, but do you think as a squad it's the best we've assembled since then? Because I think it easily is.
I think I said it at the start of the season when he made the signings. Hadn't even seen a lot of them play. I think this is the strongest squad we've had since then. I think the levels are not dropping. In some cases, I think the levels are even a little bit better. Talking about Mosquito, I remember people laughing at me when I said this kid's going to be better than Saliba, and that's a big statement. It's a big statement. I actually think he is going to be. So there you go. You got a level where it's actually maybe going up, if not the same. I think this is the best opportunity we've got. We have not had the depth where think about all the injuries as well we've had this season. It's easy to forget them. It's very easy to forget them. We've been riddled with injuries this season too. But this time the difference is, again, contrast to maybe the last 2 or 3, we've had the players to come in and not let the levels drop, as you said. And I think that is a pivotal, very important factor in us winning the quad this season.
Love it. And Melvyn, if you need to go, by all means, let us know. But what do you think, in your opinion? I mean, you've seen a lot of them as well over the years. You've seen some great teams and great squads. But where do you? Obviously, they haven't won anything, but that could be rectified in less than a month's time. But where do you put these lads?
As all round, it's probably the best squad stroke team I've seen. But what is frustrating being an Arsenal supporter, when you look back at some of the games the last 15 years, some of the fantastic footballers we've had, the Fabregases, the Rosicas and all that, some of the goals we used to score, we never won anything, really. We were thinking, how did we not win the league that year? Because it was always something missing. We never had two centre halves who could actually do their job. We were lacking in certain areas, and that's so we could have won so much more. But with this squad, yeah, I think it probably is all round the best one since the Invincibles. Yeah, certainly.
Love it, love it. And tomorrow we're going into the game against Chelsea. I've done my lineup here. I think you boys will like it, so we'll just quickly pull this up. And it is Timber this time; it's not Timer. I've made sure this time, Neil. Just so yeah, obviously
like
the back five stays the same. I think Martin Odegaard's going to be brought back in after what he done against Tottenham. But I want Eze to be where we bought him for, which was on that left-hand side. All the good stuff he'd done against Spurs was from the left anyway. So I think Trossard, for me, the Wolves game and then the Tottenham game as well. I don't like using this word about footballers because it's very derogatory, but he come across as thick. I've not seen Trossard make one bad decision, then another bad decision, then an over and over and over again. That's not Trossard to me. Trossard makes one howler and then he's exemplary. I don't like to think Trossard's stupid or thick, in my opinion. But he hasn't pulled up trees the last couple of games. Martinelli, for me, he's shown. Champions League Cups, yes. Premier League to start, sadly, no, pal, I'm afraid. So I want Eze after that game in there. I don't think he will. I think he'll probably put Eze where Odegaard is and he'll play Trossard. But I don't mind it. Yeah. What say you, lads?
But can I talk? So sorry, Neil.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Just to say, I've got to go now because I've got to be somewhere by 11 around the corner. Yes, I forgot about that. That's a great call to put Eze on the way. I would not be unhappy about that at all if he did that. But like you, I don't think he will do that. That's a wish rather than a reality. And if he plays that team, I'll be more than happy. And we should be good. We'll be good enough to beat them. If he puts Trossard or Martinelli, you're not sure what you're going to get, are you? Let's be honest. You're not confident what you're going to get. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I do apologise, but I must.
No, you get going, Melvyn.
I must make a Pickford. I must make a move. I will see you and speak to you both very shortly. Up the Arsenal. Let's go.
Go on, Melvyn.
Cheers, Melvyn.
Go on,
Take care, mate. All the best.
Care,
bye.
All the best. And so, Neil.
What do I think? I think I'm happy with that. But if he does play either Martinelli stroke Trossard, I don't want to see Odegaard start. I want Eze to start. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, Eze's got to be in there, hasn't he?
Yeah. You know, if he does him again, I'm sorry. Then I've got. I think Eze's got every right to be living well, really pissed off. Sorry to swear. He really has. I think if it's not that team as you've put, and he goes for Martinelli Trossard, then he plays Odegaard. No, I'm going to be fuming. So I agree.
Yeah, I should have asked Melvyn for his prediction. I did get one out of him before he left. But what say you, Neil? What are you going for?
I'm going for a win. I don't care. We have because we have to. It's the same situation. There's no difference to going into the Tottenham game because they've still got the game in hand, haven't they? So and I don't think why there's no reason why we shouldn't win. We've done them in the League Cup. We know we're not scared of them. We're not scared of them. If anything, they should be fearing us. I'm going to go sod it. 4-0.
Oh, my goodness.
4-0 Gyökeres. 4-0 Gyökeres. They're there for the taking. Michael put something in the chat. They're missing players. Let's finish them off. 4-0 Gyökeres. Come on.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with the continuity of my prediction that was on Mike's show. And I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. And Kai Havertz will be fit. He is They've said he's training today and they're going to test him. We know he's playing. So he'll be on the bed. He's going to come on and he's going to bury him, Neil. He's going to make it 3-1.
Come on. Sorry, I don't do continuity. I know I say different things on a bit, but I'm feeling a bit more hyped up today. Sod it. 4-0. We're going to smash it.
Love it. And we got some comments here just quickly. I don't know who Peregrine Falcon is. Neil is hot. There you go, Neil. Hopefully you can find who they are and maybe, set up a date there, potentially. Saka is a doubt, so it will have to be Madueke. okay, if that's the case, then yeah, we'll roll with Madwecki against Chelsea. And like you said there, Neil, as well, Chelsea missing a few key pieces tomorrow. Need to finish them. And Mike again, Prime Minister of Football up. Take it. Any more that I can add to Neville bashing, I will. I will happily put in there. And then Hente. Oh, sorry, I missed this. You called yourself the 18, but that was the Arsenal reserves back in the day. You need to figure out a new term. Okay. I'll figure them out. I'll figure it out. And any words on the Champions League draw? Just quickly, I loved it. I'm happy with that.
It's fallen so well for us.
Yeah. As the less English teams, the better, and that's what's happened. So, yeah. No, I'm happy with that. But yes, Neil, where can everybody find you if they want to find you?
They can't.
Especially Peregrine Falcon wants to find you, apparently.
Thank you for the compliment. I don't know whether it was referring to that kind of hotness. It might be some other hotness. Totally.
You are sat by the kitchen, so
yeah. I totally disagree with that. But thank you for the compliment, if it is a compliment. No, I'm only joking around. I'm on X, and as it's now called, and it's down to you, your generosity, yours, Michael's, Jack's, of course, the OG, with the podcasts in our group, and a few others that I go on now and again. It's all down to them. So I'm grateful. Always have been. Always will. Completely humbled and honoured to always, and blessed to always be on your show. So that's where you can find me. I don't have my own channel. I do have a gaming channel if you ever want to give it a shout, but I'm not. It's fine.
Plug it, Neil. Plug it, mate. Plug it.
Yeah, no. Maybe next time. But yeah, just an honour to be here, and yeah, it's a wonderful show, James, and I congratulate you for doing it. It's hard work, and well done you, as the others I've mentioned, but well done, James. Really pleased.
You're a superstar. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. And yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Like I said earlier, the most viewed one of all time. So thanks to anybody. And I think we got some new subscribers along the way as well. So hello to you if you're new. Please stick around. I'm trying. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there. But yeah, no, thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a lovely weekend and enjoy the game tomorrow. Come on, the Arsenal.